Bobby really thought she was great. I don't know her. I listened to the recommendation of Bobby. I met her yesterday and once before. She's a very outstanding person, a great academic, actually. So I think she'll be great.
Sam Seder of the Majority Report with Sam Seder takes a look at this pick for Surgeon General and clips from Robert RFK Jr. and President Genius here. Sam Seder, of course, a comedian, a funny guy, but I think he's also got a sharp political mind, and he picks this stuff apart in a way that I find endlessly interesting. So why don't we watch this together? I will have some thoughts, and then I want to know what you think in the comments.
Bobby Kennedy made an argument about his recommendation for the Surgeon General. What's her name? Clancy. She is not a doctor.
Casey Means.
She went to medical school, and according to, well, Kennedy says one thing. Do we have that Kennedy clip? Yeah. Let's start with the Kennedy clip, because it sort of got two different stories about this a little bit. There's a little bit of divergence of stories. Here's Kennedy asked about the doctor who never finished her residency and does not have a medical license because she never finished her residency. Now, I will say this. I'll be the first person to say, I couldn't go through medical school. I would not be able to finish my residency.
Looks tough.
No. And also, I would add to that, I should not be Surgeon General.
Some of the things she's advocated for, she never finished her residency, and she doesn't currently have an active medical license. But that's not.
She was the very top of her medical class at Stanford. She's during her residency, she won every award that she could win. She walked away from traditional medicine because she was not curing patients. She couldn't get anybody within her profession to look at the nutrition contributions to illness. And she said, if we're really going to heal people, if we're healers, we can't just be making our life about billing new procedures. We actually have to figure out new approaches to medicine. And that's the kind of leadership that she's going to bring to our country.
And last thing on this.
Okay, so just to be clear here, there is at Stanford, it's hard to say, who's at the top of their class at Stanford, because they don't have traditional grading there. They have a mastery type of grading. My kid actually goes to a school sort of like this. It's pass, fail, or marginal pass, or continuing, or incomplete. You don't get an A. So you're not, very difficult to determine who's at the top of the class at Stanford Medical School. But, she was at the top of her class. That's why she left.
I would just say, maybe she should have continued, and then she could have been one of the qualified people looking into those things that she's so upset allegedly nobody with qualifications looks into. Also,
how long is your incomplete residency that you can make the assessment I'm not curing anyone? You know what? I'll tell you what I'll tell you what I've also noticed. I'm not curing anybody either. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not curing anybody. I don't have a medical license, and I'm not curing anybody. Maybe what I need to do is start to look into supplement business.
The things that definitely cure people.
You say she's not the top of her class, but what if there's a class photo and she's standing sort of in the top row, and then
platform shoes.
Yeah,
platform shoes.
The highest.
Well, here's Donald Trump, and Trump is remember, folks, the buck stops here.
Man, it's so true, though. I mean, we're going to watch this clip of him answering a question. I put huge air quotes on answering. This is the president. This is the dude we re-elected. And he's not even weaving a tapestry of BS here. He's just kind of wandering his way through an answer. Well, the core of which is, I don't know, right? I've never heard of her. I've got a guy to do that, Bobby. I met her. She seems great, whatever, It's just insane that this is the person we have elected to drive the country. Unbelievable.
Let me turn this up for a second.
You just announced a new nominee for the U.S. Surgeon General who never finished her residency and is not a practicing physician. So can you explain why you picked her to be America's top doctor?
Because Bobby thought she was fantastic. She's she's a brilliant woman who went through Stanford, and as I understand it, she basically wanted to be an academic as opposed to a surgeon. I think she graduated first in her class at Stanford, and Bobby really thought she was great. I don't know her. I listened to the recommendation of Bobby. I met her yesterday and once before. She's a very outstanding person, a great academic, actually. So I think she'll be great.
Wait. Is she a teacher now? Is she a professor? She's academic in the sense that more general academy.
Is she like the academics who think we're in 7th generational warfare?
I don't know. I don't know how important the Surgeon General is.
She's born a year and some change before I was.
Okay. So this is,
So she has a lot of experience, I guess.
Young people could be so mean without even trying. But I didn't. I had no idea that she was so young.
Unbelievable.
Entrepreneur. Cool.
Is he like setting up he was saying, well, Bobby liked her, and then earlier he was tweeting about Besant saying, but if Besant says 80% is good, like, is he sort of like protecting himself by saying, oh, these are decisions made by these other guys?
It does starting to feel like he's feeling the heat a little bit, and he's like shopping around for somebody to jettison.
That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to when this finally tears, and I'm afraid there's going to be a lot of tears, and I'm afraid maybe some blood spilt along the way. But when this stupid clown show finally collapses in the middle, watching all of the rats climb all over each other to leave the sinking ship that will have been our once great nation, that's going to be enormously satisfying to me, because these people are all craven, opportunistic cowards to a person. And watching Pam Bondi go, like, wow, Pam Bondi is on a tear. She's coming up with stuff. It's clear that Trump didn't think of this. Like, she's like a Stephen Miller. She's an ideologue that is on a mission. And I mean, it's terrifying, but it's a little awe-inspiring to watch. Kash Patel, watching him testify, this guy, such a piece of work. So, I was going to say confident, but actually imperious in the certainty that not only are they right, but that they are superior, and offended that they have to answer to these elected officials who question their. It's really remarkable. Well, let me know what you think in the comments.